Ferguson has a asking for assistance with crowd control, asking for a Delwood officer to respond. Can I send one? They just told me that they needed assistance on crowd control at Canfield and Copper Creek.
Dead body. Live from Ferguson. They just killed this nigga for no reason.
For no fucking reason. I'm finna take another one, because that make no motherfucking sense. Ain't nobody safe over this motherfucker. I'm finna move. I'm breaking my motherfucking lease. Fuck this. They killed that boy for no motherfucking reason. She talking about some fireworks.
I heard nothing. Not this time of the day. Wasn't no fireworks this early.
I'm in the bathroom in the shower. You not finna.
What he do? What dude do?
Evidently nothing. Do you see a gun? Do you see a knife? Do you see anything that would have caused a threat to these motherfucking police officers? They shot that boy because they wanted to shoot that boy. Shot that boy because they wanted to shoot that boy. Shot that boy because they wanted to shoot that boy.
Damn, like, he just killed him. Period. It wasn't no trying to protect himself or nothing. He killed him.
Police, he just wanted to do this shit, bro. He saw a black dude, this nigga like 300 pounds, 6'4", bro. He like, oh, fuck it, I ain't finna fight him. He just wanted to do this shit, bro.
The police officer murdered him before his time. He had his arms up, and when somebody has their arms up and you shoot them, that's murder.
Good morning. Officers recovered bags of heroin and arrested 4 people overnight, all of whom had possession charges in the past. The NYPD told us it is investigating whether there is any connection between the 4 people and the drugs found at Hoffman's apartment.
Were met by a man who police say cornered them in the tiny elevator and stabbed each child repeatedly. PJ stumbled off at the fourth floor.
Combined, the officers who shot the suspect have nearly 40 years of experience. Nearly 40 years of experience.
Because 4 represent ritual, indeed, with the elites letting them know the hit has been done.
Combined, the officers who shot the suspect have nearly 40 years of experience. HPD's Internal Affairs and Homicide Divisions are investigating along with the Harris County District Attorney's Office.
Shot that boy because they wanted to shoot that boy.
Damn, like, he just killed him.
He just wanted to do this shit, bro. And then he kicked the door open, tried to hit him with the door. Door flew back, hit his leg, bro. He pulled his gun out, shot inside the car, tried to hit him. He got out the car, bro. Dude on his knees like this, like, bro, don't shoot me. Bro, don't shoot me. Dude, shot him dead in the head, bro. Then walked up to his body, shot him 4 more times, looked at his eyes, paused for a minute, shot him 4 more times. Yeah, bro. Bro, yeah.
The police officer murdered him before his time. He had his arms up, and when somebody has their arms up and you shoot them, that's murder.
When it was supposed to be a very peaceful vigil tonight for Michael Brown turned into this. We do want to stress that not everyone in that march was participating in the efforts approaching those police. The quick trip was broken into, the glass was busted out, and a lot of people going in, grabbing supplies, stealing from that quick trip tonight. Complete unrest really in the streets tonight.
My name is Catherine Abreu, and I'll be doing my presentation on the Watts Riots. The riots began on August 11th, 1965. August 11th, 1965 in Watts, a neighborhood in LA, when Lee Menendez, a California Highway Patrol motorcycle officer, pulled over an African-American named Marquette Fry on suspicion of driving while intoxicated. Fry and Menendez had an altercation over the impound and events escalated. As the tension between the two rose, a crowd of onlookers steadily grew from dozens to hundreds. The mob became violent, throwing rocks and other objects and shouting at the police officers due to the fact that the onlookers believed that the arrest was based on racial terms.
Nearly 3,000 were arrested, and authorities had to open abandoned jails to house those netted by the police. Authorities had to open abandoned jails to house those netted by the police. It took the appearance of 14,000 troops to bring an end to what both Negro and white leaders called insurrection by hoodlums. Civil rights leaders were quick to deplore the unbridled lawlessness, and Martin Luther King vowed to do all in his power to prevent a recurrence in Los Angeles or anywhere. An uneasy calm prevails in what is known as the Watts area of the city. A curfew was put into effect. a curfew was put into effect.
As governor, I'm committed to making sure the forces of peace and justice prevail. So to protect the people and property of Ferguson today, I signed an order declaring a state of emergency and ordering the implementation of a curfew in the impacted area of Ferguson.
Let me say that when I talked with the mother and grandfather last night, and I spent time just now with the father and mother.
Fuck Al Sharpton, he a sellout. That bitch wouldn't even get on the line and march with us.
Oh, fuck him then. Fuck him
He
then
wouldn't
too.
even come out here and march with us.
Fuck Al Sharpton. Fuck Al Sharpton.
What about him? He wouldn't come out here with us.
Why not?
Oh. Why not? Because he was trained monkey.
Child supposed to bury the granddaddy. So you think you bad, think about how they feel.
Are you in fear for your life being a federal informant? And people are.
I want to inform on this policeman. Let's keep moving.
Let's tell you about Ben Crump. He's a passionate, nationally known civil rights attorney from Tallahassee, Florida. He represented the family of Trayvon Martin in the case against George Zimmerman. I was at that very first press conference with Crump and Trayvon's parents. This was just days after Trayvon Martin was shot. Just yesterday, he agreed to represent the family of 18-year-old Michael Brown. He and Brown's family spoke less than 5 minutes ago at a church outside St. Louis. Here's what Benjamin Crump had to say.
I don't want to sugarcoat it. Their baby was executed in broad daylight. And that's why people are so outraged. That's why people are frustrated, because they're saying yet again, one of our children executed before he even becomes a man.
We have a foundation and they honor Trayvon's legacy that way. Sabrina said this verdict will not define Trayvon. We will define Trayvon's legacy.
Thank you for being with us this morning.
Thank you.
We'll be right back.
Good evening to you. I'm Christine Johnson.
And welcome, everyone. I'm Maurice Dubois. Those stories are straight ahead. But first, after all these years, the Reverend Al Sharpton admits he was an FBI informant.
Yes, he says that he was the cat that got the rats, but others say that Sharpton's secret life was not by choice. CBS 2 political reporter Marcia Kramer has the story.
Michelle Obama probably never knew that one of the guests at her recent White House 50th birthday party was an FBI mafia informant who helped bring down members of the Genovese crime family. Reverend Al Sharpton, now a confidant of both the First Lady and the President and of Mayor Bill de Blasio, has his own unique take on his days as the government's confidential informant number 7.
In my own mind, I was not an informant. I was cooperating with investigations.
The revelations threaten to embarrass Sharpton as he kicks off his National Action Network convention this week with de Blasio and President Obama the headliners. But de Blasio, who calls Sharpton family, is sticking by his buddy.
Doesn't change the relationship one bit. I'm very proud to be his friend. I think he has done a lot of good for the city of New York and for this country. I have the exact same positive view of him I had before.
How much research and study did the FBI engage in of black culture in the late 60s?
A great amount.
Give me an idea.
From the thing is, I can, they have a file on every type of magazine that blacks read. They have a file on the music. Music, dance, theater, actors, comedians, you name it, man.
And they would actually study these different...
Yes. Oh, yes, definitely. I've seen them going over even video portion of cultural events. They make in-depth studies of the personalities of the people they're dealing with, too, culturally. It always helps. It's the thing of, you can take their culture and use it against them.
How large would you say an extensive collection on our culture would you say the FBI has? Would you rate it as large as a particular library, like the Schomburg Library in Harlem? Or
I would rate it better.
Was part of your other activities and responsibilities to study the profiles of celebrities who were supportive of organizations?
Definitely, and especially, like I said, psychological backgrounds, weaknesses and strengths. Did he have a weakness for blondes? Did he have a weakness for money? Did he snort cocaine? Did he smoke marijuana? They even get into, and that's one thing the Bureau loves, is their sexual background. They have files and files on different blacks, not only celebrities, but a lot of others, sexual activity.
What would they do with this information?
Oh, that's used as a weakness.
So they would feed to these weaknesses?
Yes.
Did you see that happen?
Oh, yes. The Black Desk was set up for a simple thing of infiltrating black organizations and black groups, whatever.
Where was this Black Desk, or were there a number of them?
There were a number of Black Desks, but the head Black Desk was in Washington, D.C., controlled by Sullivan. And
Was he black?
No.
Mm-hmm. And what was the function of the Black Desks all over the country? I guess there were dozens.
The function of the Black Desk was to monitor activity, social unrest, revolutionary groups, cultural groups, and such in the black community.
And feed it into this central desk. And it still exists?
As far as I know, yes. It would behoove black people, it would behoove all people, really, to question so-called the cut and dry one lone assassin theory. The Bureau and other intelligence agencies are very good at conspiracies.
Well, Len, there are new details coming out today, and of course there are witness statements that contradict one another. The FBI will be documenting all of that, gathering all the information they can in an investigation that is parallel but separate from the local criminal investigation. The FBI is the investigative arm for the Department of Justice.
Are you glad that the Department of Justice is there? I take it you are, and do you think that will help to see that this thing is handled correctly?
We are very happy that the Justice Department is there. The Attorney General has been very engaged. The President has been engaged. I've received calls from the White House late at night, early in the morning. They want to see justice served here. I think it speaks well of the President and the Attorney General that the Justice Department is on the ground. The NAACP has been working with FBI agents to identify and bring forward witnesses. That says to me that the Justice Department is not operating from Washington, but in Ferguson, Missouri.
Good afternoon. My name is Richard Delorier. I am the Special Agent in charge of the FBI's Boston Division. Since Monday's bombings, the FBI and our law enforcement partners have been working around the clock and are fully committed to investigating this matter to bring those responsible to justice.
A Chechen immigrant killed in the U.S. during questioning over his alleged links with one of the suspected Boston bombers was unarmed, according to law enforcement officials. Ibrahim Tadashev was shot dead by an FBI agent when he allegedly became violent. Initial reports claimed he attacked officers with a knife. RT's Marina Portnaya has more.
Well, the circumstances surrounding the fatal shooting of Ibrahim Tadashev have turned even murkier. According to the Washington Post, which cites law enforcement officials, the 28-year-old Chechen immigrant was unarmed when he was shot dead during an FBI interrogation last week. Now, federal officials initially said that Tadashev became violent and lunged at an FBI special agent with a knife.
Apparently we're not the ones harboring a fugitive. Yeah, this is our garage right now. What the hell?
This Boston thing could have been a test to see what kind of resistance and belly aching they got from the people. Surprisingly, nothing. People like us are belly aching. The people there weren't doing anything. So this probably got them bolder, and they're going to try more stuff. Okay, they learned a lot, a whole lot. They got a lot of practice. There were guys observing from the Fed, Homeland Security, FBI, CIA, Defense Intelligence Agencies. They were observing. They were filming, observing, taking notes, and they're going to go back with a lot of footage, show it in classroom settings, and train others about how to do this. That's going to take a matter of a few weeks.
Store owners in Ferguson, Missouri pick up the pieces Saturday morning after protests turned violent and led to looting the night before. Since last week's shooting of Michael Brown by a police officer ignited 4 days of clashes, some were peaceful and others violent. But local store owners believe people from out of town are responsible for the recent heightened violence and looting.
So they couldn't be from here. We have our validated customers, and every face yesterday was a different face. Every face yesterday was a different face.
But local store owners believe people from out of town are responsible for the recent heightened violence and looting.
Martial law portions of Rex 84 were outlined in a 1982 memo written by FEMA Deputy John Brinkerhoff. Martial law was to be declared in the event of a national crisis, yet the plan did not define the term national crisis. The plan allowed FEMA to take control of both federal and state governments, appointing military commanders to replace duly elected officials. The plan also called for the rounding up of at least 21 million American Negroes for delivery to numerous military bases converted into prison centers, also known as FEMA relocation camps.
Authorities had to open abandoned jails to house those netted by the police.
Why? Because at that time, African Americans were classified as one of the largest threats to the continuity of the federal government.